the class of engineering hydrology. This is first lecture of unit 4 and the unit is flood estimation. So, first of all have a look on river catchments in the regions located 80° east and 80° north. So, this table shows the historical data, okay. Like river basin Brahmaputra in this stream, okay, it is a basin area. In this area flood that was in July 68, this much quantity was observed, okay. And other rivers has different streams at different sites area flood river that has been mentioned here, okay. So, this table has the same data at different locations, okay. This is also this is okay located at south of north. So, the flood is usual state, that is depth of flow in a river where water accumulates to such a level that overtop the natural or artificial bank and inundates large area and causes the loss of life and economic loss, okay. So, for better design the calculation of forecasting of this flood that is required, okay. And the forecasting method which has been proposed by different researchers that we are going to study in this unit, okay. Forecasting of flood based on the previous data, okay. And this data requires not less than 25, more than 25 years data is required in forecasting the floods, right. So, this data was taken from this one International Journal of Hydrology and authors are this one, okay. You can go through that paper. So, let us talk on the overview of river catchment. From the data shown in table, it has been observed that 80 to 90% of the annual rainfall over most part of India falls during the southwest monsoon season, that is in between June to September, okay. So, this is the duration where flood the possibility of flood is common. Dams on the rivers are built in order to store the excess water for its use throughout the years, okay. Since dams stores the water, therefore, the storing capacity, okay, if we are getting water more than the storage capacity of the dam, then it is problematic and that type of situation should be avoided, okay. If we want to save the loss of life as well as property, okay. As a record in our country we have 3000 of dams and new dams are being constructed for securing water supply for the growing population, right. When a dam is constructed across a river, spillway or spillway system is built as a safety feature to pass the greatest flood that can occur from heavy rainfall over the drainage basin. Okay. Therefore, that system, spillway system or spillway, prior to design the spillway, we must have the idea of flood forecasting, okay, so that we can safely design, so that the discharge coming over the spillway is within the acceptable limit. Okay. The magnitude of this greatest flood, okay, that could arise from heavy rainfall at the dam site is called spillway design flood. Okay. Spillway design floods. So, design floods for a basin are estimated by using long period stream flow. Okay. We need a long period stream flow data or rainfall records using statistical or hydrometeorological methods. So, let us talk why flood estimation data is required. As I told you that in the design of spillway, this is a very important data. This is very important data. Okay. Apart from that, okay, let us talk on these issues. The maximum flood that any structure can safely pass. Okay. That is objective of the estimation of flood data. Okay. As the magnitude of the design flood increases, okay, as the magnitude of design flood increases, the capital cost of the structure also increases, but the probability of annual damage is going to decrease. Okay. For higher flood discharge, it is obvious that the capital required to build the structure, okay, that is going to increase, right. Magnitude of design flood is decided on the basis of acceptable risk or accidents. Okay. So, risk, acceptable risk, okay, that is one more important topic of this unit that we will learn in this unit, right. Now, what are the applications? One application I have told you, spillway design, okay, and the design flood is a spillway design is known as a spillway design flood. Okay. In case of design of culverts, roads, rail bridges, drainage works and irrigation diversion works, we also need the flood data. Okay. In the design of hydraulic structures, okay, in the design of levees, means flood protection wall, okay, it is a spillway. Okay. In flood management, the forecasting data of flood is very much important to rescue the situations. Okay. If we will have prior information, then it will help during the calamities. Reference of flood estimation. Okay. Standard project floods. Okay. These are standard project flood written by SPF. Another flood data we are which we are estimating, it is MPF, maximum probable flood. It is also written by PMF also, okay, probable maximum flood, okay, it is the same thing, okay. And probable maximum precipitation, okay, this is the cause, okay, probable maximum precipitation that has also been discussed in unit 1, and design flood, okay, after a design flood. So, let us talk on SPF. What is standard project flood? So, standard project flood is the estimate of the flood, likely to occur from the most severe combination of meteorological and hydrological conditions for any drainage basin, most likely to occur, okay, most likely to occur, right. It is reasonably characteristics of the drainage basin being considered, but excluding extremely rare combinations. Okay. So, the important things is to remember this one, likely to occur. MPF, maximum probable flood, it includes the extremely rare and catastrophic flood and is usually confined to spillway design of very high dam. Okay. Spillway flood, okay. In spillway flood we take MPF data, right. Then let us talk on PMP, probable maximum precipitation, okay. Probable maximum precipitation. I talked this precipitation through this curve, depth area duration curve. I already talked in unit 1 that this graph is the depth is the variation, is the plot of depth versus area of catchment, okay, at different for different intensity of precipitation, So, probable maximum precipitation, it is the greatest or extreme rainfall of a given duration that is physically possible, So, during flood forecasting, that data, okay, that data is essential, that data is also important. Depth area duration curve is usually derived by taking the result of maximum depth area duration analysis and adjusting them for maximum moisture change rate of moisture inflow and other hydrometeorological conditions that would maximize the rainfall. Okay. PMP, when applied on the design of unit hydrograph for the basin, will produce the MPF. Okay. Let us talk on design flood. So, what is design flood? Design flood is adopted for the design of hydraulic structures, okay, like spillways, bridge openings, flood banks and so on. Okay. It may be MPF or SPF or flood of any desired reoccurrence interval depending upon the degree of flood protection, that is important, in considering the design flood. What the level of risk that we are going to take, degree of flood protection to be offered and cost economics of construction of the structure, that is important. Okay. Design flood is usually selected after making a cost benefit analysis. Okay. We do the cost benefit analysis, and the ratio of benefit to cost may be desired to be the maximum, right. MPF used in the situations where the failure of structure would result in loss of life and catastrophic damage, and as such complete protection flood is sought. Okay. So, therefore, we need to avoid such type of damages, okay, and that can be removed if we have proper design flood data, right. SPF is often used in the situations where failure of the structure would cause less severe damage, and SPF is approximately about to 40 to 60% of the MPF. Okay. These are few guidelines published by CWC, means Central Water Commission of our country. Okay. In case of first guidelines is for spillway for major and medium project with storage more than 60 million cubic meter. Okay. And the recommendation for this are these two. Okay. PMF determined by unit hydrograph and probable maximum precipitation, that data we need. Okay. And second guidelines is if PMF and PMP is not applicable or possible flood frequency method with T is equal to 1000 years. T is what? Return time. T is a return time. So, very long data we require while designing the spillway if it has this much more than this much capacity of water. Okay. Second guidelines is for permanent barrage and minor dams with capacity less than 60 million cubic meter. Okay. So, for this we have SPF determined by unit hydrograph and standard project storm, which is usually the largest recorded storm in the region. Okay. And this one flood with a return period of 100 years, with return period of 100 years. Okay. In first case it was 1000 years, in this case it is 100 years return period of data we are analyzing. Okay. Which gives the higher values. Okay. For these two, okay. For this one higher of this will be selected for the flood data. Pickup years, for pickup years flood with a return period of 100 or 50 years, 100 or 50 years depending upon the importance of the project. Okay. We are observing that as long as the capacity of the storing capacity is going to decrease, then the return period is going to decrease also. Okay. Aqueducts, okay, for waterways, for foundations and freeboard. Okay. For this data flood with return period 50, flood with return period 100, okay, is used. Okay. Now, last recommendation for a project with very scanty or inadequate data. If we do not have the data, then what we will do? Okay. So, for such cases we will use empirical formulas. So, in this unit we will also study the various formulas which are proposed by different researchers, right. After that let us talk in the problems during flood estimation. Okay. So, for the basin catchment with sparse or no data, okay, if we do not have the data, then how it will possible to get the flood estimation. Okay. It is a very difficult, it is a very difficult problem. Okay. And if we do not have the data of 100 years data, 50 years data, and we need to design for the dam, then it is a difficult, it is the challenging. Okay. For such situations, what we do, what we are doing under such type of situations, hydrologists have developed the methods for transferring information on the stream flow or rainfall data from a meteorologically and topographically analogous region to the location at which the design flood value is required. Okay. Something like empirical methods, okay. Empirical methods. So, these are the various methods of forecasting, out of this we already studied unit hydrograph method for the forecasting of flood in unit 2, that we calculated, and I told you that these hydrographs have the data of short duration, okay. But we get the flood discharge, peak discharge we can calculate, and we determine through various examples. Okay. So, first method which we are going to study in this unit at is number 1, it is a physical indication of the past flood. Okay. Physical indication of the past flood. Okay. So, this is the first step, actually this is the first step, okay. And we are doing by noting the flood marks and by local inquiry also. Okay. We do inquiry from the peoples residing nearby area, okay. Depth, okay, what the depth is required, okay, and the precipitation depth in that in the nearby areas. Efflux means heading up of water nearby bridge openings or similar obstruction to flow. Okay. The maximum flood discharge. So, with the help of previous data, okay, we can have some rough idea, we can have some rough estimate. Okay. This cannot be taken in design, but which type of analysis we need to start. Okay. We will have the idea from that practice. Okay. The second one is flood envelope curve. Okay. So, flood envelope curve have been proposed by many researchers, and what are these curves? I will show you the envelope proposed by Kanwar, Sen and Karpo in 1967. Okay. A lot of observation were made by both of them, and they plotted a graph between peak flood discharge and drainage area for southern Indian rivers as well northern and central river region, and they observed such type of first type of graph, okay, that has been plotted in log scale. Okay. For southern Indian rivers, it is a straight line, it is like this. Okay. For drainage area, okay. Say we need we need to find the peak discharge, okay, for certain area of basin, okay, like this one point. Then what will be the value of discharge? Say for this one category of river, the discharge will be, peak discharge will be this, right. Similarly, for this one, okay, if at this area we can find the peak discharge directly from the plot, Okay. So, a lot of work is required in making a making this type of envelope curves, right. So, let us talk on envelope curve. So, envelope curves are generally used for comparison only, okay, for comparison only, okay, comparison only, and the design flood got by other method should be higher than those obtained from the envelopes curve. Okay. For comparison purpose, that estimate is done. Okay. We have equations, we have this one equation, which has been used worldwide to get the peak discharge, A is the area in kilometer square, and peak discharge Q, it is in meter cube per second, Qmax, right. Worldwide equation that is proposed by this one researchers in 1951. Okay. So, envelope curve, area having similar topographic features, and climatic conditions are grouped together. So, this is the first step while making the envelope curve. So, first step is to categorize the streams, means to categorize the rivers, okay, on different parameters. Okay. All available discharge data are compiled along with their respective catchment areas, is the step number 2. Okay. Next step for making envelope curve is peak discharge. Okay. Is actually this is the peak discharge are the peak discharges are then plotted. Okay. Peak discharges are then plotted against drainage areas, and curve is drawn to cover or envelop the highest plotted points. Okay. Highest plotted points we will identify the points. Okay. Thus, for any discharge area, okay, peak flood can be read from the envelope curve, okay, and this method gives a rough estimate that I have told you, okay, for comparison purpose. Okay. Using this method we cannot assign any return period to the peak values, we cannot assign any return period. Okay. That period, return period means likely to occur, that return period we will study in next lectures, that is very much important, but it is not associated with this envelope curve, okay, that we talked earlier. Okay. So, data has been taken from this reference. Okay. So, you can go through that textbook. So, in next classes, we will be discussing the method using empirical flood formulae and rational formula. In next class we will study this one. Okay. Empirical formulae, these are regional, actually these are regional formula, okay, that cannot be used for every type of basins. Okay. We have certain limitations to use these type of formulas, right. So, okay, we will talk on various formulas and rational formulas in our next class. Okay. So, thank you very much.